Hello everyone and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. I'm Gary.
And I'm Geoff.
And today we're taking a look at Star Citizen.
Oh yeah,
Arena
Gary.
Commander?
Yeah, well, this is Star Citizen is not a whole game yet. It is in production, and what the Star Citizen people are doing is giving us. We've got a hangar. We can still get in our ships. We can fly them around, but it's all in this kind of two little sandbox arenas, which are called Arena Commander.
Right. So this is from legendary video game maker Chris Roberts, who's pretty notorious for the Wing Commander movie, but more importantly, the Wing Commander series of video games, which are, in my memory, two of them in particular. I played the Privateer Wing Commander games. I think they came out between 1990 and 1999. That series of games. And they even had Mark Hamill in most of the FMV sequences. I think it was in Wing Commander 4.
yeah, Wing Commander is cool, man. It had full like movie sequences, like cool acting, loads of drama.
It was the first video game I ever played where you didn't have to follow the scripted story one single bit. It was the first video game I ever played where I could go in. I was a mercenary. I could be a pirate or a scavenger, and open-ended gameplay. It was unheard of for me at the time. So huge props to Wing Commander for opening the doors to the possibilities of gaming and what the imagination could create. And so I've been reading about Star Citizen since its inception. Back in
Love it.
2011, just before they put the Kickstarter out in 2012. And it's in the news over and over how much money that this game had donated to it. They originally pledged for $500,000 to make the game, and I think right now they're up to 75 million, which is just incredible.
Yeah. And
the game is not. Yeah, I think we've just said the game's not out yet until the end of next year, at the latest.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would take any projected release date with a pinch of salt, because, I mean, they're hopeful for doing all sorts of things, but there's some huge technical challenges that have gone into this game. Like, Chris Roberts was known for pushing technology with his Wing Commander games at the time. You know, like I never really got to enjoy the Wing Commander series as a kid because I just didn't have the PC to run it.
Geoff, you've been deprived.
Yeah,
you've been deprived.
I know. So I've had to sort of retrospectively go back. I haven't had time to play through them, but I've been watching YouTube Let's Plays and stuff like that to catch up on what Chris Roberts had done in the past. But the thing that really inspired me about Star Citizen is, I knew Chris Roberts' reputation. And I knew that as a project manager, he was one of the men that could get the job done. And the designs of the ships and like you said, like in previous games, you just had that freedom to be able to be the character you wanted to be and just go out in space and be like whatever you wanted to do. Like the universe is your platform, and that's the promise of Star Citizen, is just this open-ended, be whatever you want to be.
Such a tall promise to make, and that is that's why I'm anticipating this game so much. But being a console gamer more than I am a PC gamer now, it's gonna take some effort to get me over and to just concentrate on an open-ended PC game like this, which could be the be-all and end-all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'll certainly be the next step in gaming evolution, and I think really the secret to it is the Kickstarter backing of it. They're not depending on a publisher, so because of that, maybe some people are saying, well, maybe they're just promising too much and they'll never be able to deliver. Which really the proof will be in the pudding if they do deliver. But systematically and slowly, they've had a very open-ended development process, and they're showing everybody the work that they're doing and showing everybody the technical challenges they're facing. And I'm really happy with the work they're doing so far. I just had a little run around my hangar there and showed you my 2 ships, which was my M50 and my military Hornet. So that will tell anybody that's familiar with Star Citizen that I've spent a little bit of money and invested a few $100s into Star Citizen.
What? How much?
Yeah, a few hundred.
100?
Yeah.
100? But
Yeah.
video games today, I mean, I know... I sound like an old man already. But video games, I remember my day, they used to be so cheap. You just brought the game. You know, it was £10, it was £20. Now it's £60.
Yeah.
And now it's 100, 200, £1,000 or dollars just
Yeah.
for a single spacecraft within the video game.
Yeah, I think my Hornet has probably cost me about $120, $130. My M50 cost me $100.
I feel sick, Jeff.
But the thing is I don't see that as purchasing those ships. It's not, that wasn't the fee for those ships. If you want to get into Star Citizen and you want to have the opportunity to fly those ships, all you need to pay is like $30. So that's even cheaper than a retail price of a full game. I've paid that much money, not because I wanted to have any kind of material advantage in game, but I just wanted to have access to fly those ships, and I wanted to be a part of the development of this game. And if I'm going to throw money at anybody, it's not going to be like tramps or hoes or, you know, like drink or drugs. You know, I want to throw money at a proven project
There's
manager.
nothing wrong with those things.
Well, I'm not saying there is. Not saying there is. But if I'm gonna chuck large amounts of money at someone, and I want that person to be somebody that I believe is going to deliver me something that I really want. And I think Star Citizen, the opportunity of flying a spaceship, being my own Han Solo, and going through space as a bounty hunter, setting up like a corporation or an organization where I'm trading and doing all these kinds of things throughout a beautifully crafted universe in beautifully crafted ships. Oh yes, it gets me so excited, Gary. I can't tell you how excited I am. Like
you are so animated right now. You're so animated.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for it. So I've gone into the racing here.
Okay, now there is so much information on the screen that a first time glance, like me looking at this right now,
It's just like, whoa.
I'm aware of video game information, but there is an overload of information here.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of stuff going on the HUD. Like, crucially, with the way that the ship systems are set up, everything is separate. So your weapons, you've got a power system, you've got engines, thrusters, and shields, and you are able to distribute the power. If you look there, I've put all the power onto G2, so that means all my power is going to my engines and thrusters for maximum maneuverability.
Makes sense in a race.
And I am playing as the 350R at the moment, so if you're playing Star Citizen right now, for this week, they've got or a couple of weeks, they've got all the racing ships available to fly, so you can just experiment with them. The 3 main racing ships are the Mustang Gamma, I believe, which is racing, the 350R, which is the fastest one, and the one I've got, which is the M50. And so yeah, you can come in and do the Murray Cup and race against other players quite happily. But then there's also
so you can start earning in-game experience or items
that's right.
ahead of time.
Yeah, there's now, when you're playing in Arena Commander, you can earn experience, sort of credits, a currency, which will allow you to rent ships for a week as well, like any ship you want that's available to fly in Arena Commander. So that's really cool now, because already it's starting to get that dynamic where you don't need to pay the money to fly the bigger ships.
Well, that's going to be my next question, Jeff, is how much is the game when it comes out? Is this a free-to-play game, and then with lots of microtransactions within it? I say micro despite the fact that they're the most expensive microtransactions I've ever seen.
Yeah,
how much is the game going to be to play? And then if I purchase the game for like 60 quid, could I play the game without investing any more money into it and earn my way through?
You should be able to, like, Chris Roberts has stated from the beginning, Star Citizen will be a game that you will pay your $40 for, and you will not need to pay a penny more to enjoy every single game.
But does that
feature.
mean I'm going to be harvesting or mining asteroids for the next 20 years in order to buy a space dinghy?
Well, your ability to earn money will depend on your real world ability to trade and trade successfully to make money, make profit.
I'm not a trader.
And set up corporations, or get successfully complete your bounties, or steal stuff. You know, like, if you know a way to earn money in real life, then apply that skill to Star Citizen, and it should serve you fairly well.
Well, after all this waiting around, we've ejected and we're off.
Oh,
there's a collision alert. Someone's about to somebody's tail ending you.
Yeah, I think somebody just smashed me, which is a bit cheeky.
Whoa! Well, after all that waiting around in the hangar.
Oh!
I'm feeling the momentum sickness of being ejected.
Oh god, I am not the greatest pilot, I'm afraid, and my...
Well, yeah, Jeff's at the stick right now, and right now he's using...
I am using a
old school joystick with a thrust control.
Oh, lag. Yeah, I'm getting a Thrustmaster T16000. Oh dear, terrible lag there.
Yeah, it was. It froze altogether.
Yeah, so this is still going to be a tricky experience. I've not got the fastest system, and I'm running this at high settings, 1080p.
And recording it.
So I'm getting a bit of slowdown, a bit of lag. It's not the best. But, yeah, I'm not the greatest pilot either. I mean, I have been having a little bit of practice and set a couple of times on this Murray Cup, but nothing special. But yeah, at the moment...
Now, it does show how the ships handle in tight environments. And it does show off... It does show off... the environment, the outside.
Overshot it.
Wow, you really overshot that one.
I did.
And it's very pretty.
It is very. It's going to be very beautiful, and when it's optimized, the graphics should run a lot smoother. It is very.
It's very stuttery
right now. More stuttery than it usually is. And yeah, I would recommend, if you're going to do racing, I would take the settings right down so that you've got the best frame rate possible. The optimization, I think, is going to improve massively. Like, I suspect that they will support things like DirectX 12 and Mantle. Chris Roberts has said straight away that the new programming interfaces, the new APIs, I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but some people will understand that there's some new sort of software technologies about to come out which will make things run a lot smoother, a lot more efficiently for a lot of games. So for pretty much most games, actually, that developers use the new programming interface with. So yeah, there's a lot of improvements to come as well. So I'm not too worried at the moment. And as you can see, I haven't crashed at the moment. So
one of the big things that this game's been promoting is its accurate Newtonian physics engine.
Yeah. I'd say that's pretty good, actually.
So what that really means is that if you're in a dogfight and you sustain damage to, I don't know, let's say your aft thrusters or to a certain part of the engine, your ship will respond at the controls sluggishly in an accurate manner, reflecting that sort of damage impact.
Oh,
whoa!
Hit someone. I don't know who I hit there, but yeah, your ship will act with true physics, because, like, if you have a thruster out, you're not going to be able to thrust in that direction that thruster was providing you. So the way your ships function is...
Whoa!
Hey.
So you do bounce all over the place when you ricochet off the side of a building?
You can do, yeah. I mean, it depends how you clip it. If you clip it too full on, they're just recently updating all the damage modeling as well on the ships, so that your ships can really fragment and take hull damage. Very, like, I say beautiful, really. I mean, it's so convincingly realistic. And like, so yeah, I mean, there's an awful lot that's going on here. which is you don't sort of immediately see right off the bat, but there's a great deal of highly advanced modelling and highly advanced physics going on here.
So I got another question. They are talking about ship damage. What's gonna happen if you've spent all that money on a spaceship and some bastard looter or pirate turns up, like that schmuck,
yeah, and just smashes you up,
and then blows up your ship? You get to the escape pod and get out of there. Not bad. You got a 4th place there. You finished.
I did.
But what happens if your ship explodes? What happens if you crash and burn?
All right. So if you, a lot of people have got like insurance contracts. Like some people who backed the Star Citizen early, they got lifetime insurance, which is something Chris Roberts actually says he regrets. He wishes that what hadn't happened. But
wow, so they are now invincible ships. Blow them up, they'll just come back.
They will just keep coming back for those players. And so,
how much did they donate?
Well, they just got in early. They donated the same as everybody else, but Chris Roberts realised that it was probably going to unbalance the game too much and stop the economy flowing if too many people had lifetime insurance on their ships. Because the whole thing with Star Citizen is it's going to create it's almost like an economy simulator. So the drive of the game is going to be...
Geoff, please don't talk to me about the economy. I was getting excited about Star Citizen, and now you start talking about the economy.
Well, you're saying to... Well, like the question about what happens to your ship is very important. So your ship will get destroyed or damaged. So you will then create jobs for replacement parts and for the repair of the ship, which there will be, say, other players or NPCs that will have factories which will create those parts. So you will be like generating jobs which you will be paying money for, and you will have insurance on your ship. So some ships you'll be able to pay for that with the insurance money, or if you haven't got insurance, then tough shit, you're back to square one and you've got to farm or like get enough jobs to get enough credits to buy a new ship. Or there's going to be a banking system there, so you might be able to loan the credits for a ship and have to pay that off like in installments. So but yeah, if you think about how you
creating the Matrix.
If you need to get,
no wonder this game's taking so freaking long to make.
Yeah, it's going to be a hugely complex system. And
I will say I'm a rookie. I'm a virgin to MMORPGs.
Yeah.
And this I'm not into World of Warcraft. I guess I've been playing Destiny. That's one of my first introductions to something like that. But something on this scale. Who watches the economy? Who watches the bank and make sure everything's working? And
yeah, well, I mean, the idea is that it's going to be a self-sustaining, self-creating, self-perpetuating economy. So everything is feeding back into itself, and as things get destroyed, they need to be built, which requires resources, which requires mining, which requires, like all kinds of things, fuel, weapons to defend the mining ships, like this whole kind of cycling economy that real life is based on. So,
well, there was a video game that had all of that before, and it was called Eve Online.
Yeah, that's right.
And I took one look at that game and saw all of the spectral charts and and
you're like, oh my god, it's a spreadsheet simulator.
Absolutely.
Which it is. But the difference between Star Citizen and Eve is that you're going to encapsulate all that level of depth of the economy in an intuitive, this is how I just do it in kind of similar to real life kind of way. And your skills that you develop in game, and that's not going to be like a number on your character. That means your ability to use the controls in your hand to perform a task in front of you, like flying your ship, like mining rocks successfily, will determine. Well, I am not entirely sure about that, but there is.
Okay.
If you go onto the wiki, I have not examined the mining.
Don't talk
yet.
to me about the wiki, Geoff. I saw how many pages are on the wiki page. There's nearly 1,000 pages on the Wikipedia page, and the game's persistent universe hasn't even been released yet.
Yeah, it's only just beginning, and the lore creation around this is huge. And any really good fan art creation as well that Chris Roberts thinks, yeah, this is totally lore friendly, it's getting absorbed into the system, and it's becoming a game which is created by the fans for the fans as well, you know, and that's all getting added into the system. I think Chris knows that if you're going to develop a universe, you have to have those individuals that are in the universe as much a part of it as the creator's original sort of thought, you know, and he's definitely doing that. And yeah, so I'm really impressed with Roberts as a project manager and his ability to see what the people want in a game, because I think what the good thing about Chris Roberts, when he's developing a game, he's trying to create the game that he wants to play, you know, that he knows is going to be fantastic for him to enjoy. So he's trying to give to the world something that he wants, and I think that's really important.
It must really suck if you finally, you know, it must be amazingly rewarding to actually create that. But at the same time, if he was then to go and play it, he's made the ultimate game, but there's going to be no surprises left in it for himself.
Well, of course, but then
other than the things he didn't prepare for when players go and do things that they perhaps.
I would say that although Chris Roberts does get down in code a bit, I'd say he's far too busy to really be like micromanaging to that kind of level, and this project is far too big for him to be able to do that. I want Chris Roberts working with CryEngine 3 to get the CryEngine 3 developed exactly the way it needs to be, so that you know, I want bug testers to be bug testing. I don't want Chris Roberts to care about that, you know. I want Chris Roberts to go out and be like, yes, this ship's going to be in, that's not going to be in, that's, you know, like I want him making the big decisions about the game. And then I think when he comes to it, I mean, obviously he's going to have the inside track, but when he comes down to sit down to play the finished product, I think the development from so many different studios and so many different people is even means he's going to have surprises when he gets into the game. And so much of the gameplay is from the public that it's so emergent that he, you know, that there's no way you could be ahead of the game for the whole game. It's going to be something that goes out to the people, and then he's no longer going to own it. I think the community will own Star Citizen, and it already does, really, which is awesome. Like already, I've joined a crew called Tactical Advance, an organization called Tactical Advance. We're a fairly hardcore organization, but I am absolutely loving getting in with the community, playing games with the community in other games as well, whilst we team build ready for when we're going to do operations within Star Citizen. And the level of interaction I've had just based on the fact that this game is going to exist is already very impressive.
So that's another fear I'm going to have, is other than the excessively long loading times right now,
yes,
my other question was going to be, is this good for solo gamers?
Yes, very much so. I mean, this is, again, a game that will allow you to play the way you want to play it. So I'm now in this is Vandal co-op mode. This is like Horde mode, by the way. So this is the Dying Star. We had the Moon one, and now this is the Star one. So I can target the enemy. Vandal, they're kind of like an alien race that are just trouble. You just got to kill them all.
Okay, so I got another question. Well, we talked about what happens when your ship explodes, because we do have the ejector seat.
Yeah.
What about player death? What about permadeath?
Okay, so yeah, if you to get the full details, there's a video called Death of a Spaceman, which will give you every sort of all the indications of how death is going to be dealt with in Star Citizen. But the overall general principle is that you, like, say if I get blown up out of this ship and I eject, I'm not going to die, you know, unless somebody comes around, finds me in the black of space and shoots me specifically.
Pretty difficult.
I can get picked up by my buddies, put out a distress signal, whatever, from my escape pod, or I'm floating in space. Somebody will come pick me up and I'll be alright to live another day. If I get killed, then I probably wake up in hospital somewhere with some kind of major injury or something like that, depending on like the reason I black out or go down. I'm not entirely sure how detailed the body modeling is going to be in terms of like your injuries corresponding to where you've been hit in the game.
Okay.
But what we can definitely say is that if you do eventually get taken right out so that you die, then what will happen is your death will be permanent, but you will have a a progeny, I'll say your child or something like that, or another relative. I think you can dictate how they're related.
Okay.
And
they come along and pick up all of their items and gear.
They come along and inherit everything that you got. Yeah.
Hopefully you don't lose your pilot and your ship in one go, and hopefully you have insurance. So.
Well, that's right. Yeah, like if you got insurance, you're gonna get your ship back, and insurance is meant to be a nominal amount.
Don't forget, you're also
going to
need to get a permit to park it. Don't forget, you're also going to need to pay the space tax as well. And don't forget, you're also going to need to buy the fuel and the bullets and to pay for all of the crew you get on there.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you are going to have to pay for everything. And what you
and
ideally...
this is not a spreadsheet simulator.
No, that's right. It's not. It's not. Because you're going to pay for that with, you know, doing the jobs you want to do.
Yeah, in a very pretty environment, I've got to say. This looks stunning.
It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, this is just a little sandbox. It's one
of
them.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, this is called Dying Star. And, just... When I can go point at that direction and go, right, there's a star system over there, and just be like, phew, boost over to it.
So what's the real-time travel time like?
Well, you're gonna go into like a hyper faster than light mode type thing. So you boost to a place. The thing is, if there's stuff in the way, what allegedly is going to happen is you will get boosted. You like suddenly get taken out of your boosting mode because
there's the collision alert or a nebula or something.
Because you're going so fast, you'd never be able to turn to avoid anything without your body just turning into mush. So it just takes you out of the hyperdrive mode, and then you have to deal with whatever is in like a threat to you. So yeah, I mean they're going to deal with it smartly like that. You've got computers. The reality is, if you were flying through space at hyper than light speeds, no human brain is able to cope with any threat at that kind of speed. So it's all going to be scanners and computers determining what happens to the ship, and then once you're in there, you can go into manual flight mode and make the core decisions. So yeah, that all seems to be pretty smart way of handling it, I think.
Definitely.
And like I say, there's so much. I could never tell you in half an hour all there is to know about Star Citizen. There are hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos, and like you said, 800 and something pages on the wiki.
894 currently.
Yeah, and building. You know, like really is. It's only just. It's not even the beginning.
I've got no idea how many planets, solar systems, aliens, spacecraft. There's so many possibilities. I mean, once the game's even out, there's nothing stopping them adding more content, creating more worlds, and adding more features, and adding more systems.
And that is what they're going to do. And
that's the only way to keep it fresh, to keep it perpetuating, to keep the universe growing, just like any virtual real. So
you're going to have like wormhole jumps, and you were talking about the solo gamer, what there will be to do for the solo gamer. I mean, you could be like a solo pirate, you could be a solo bounty hunter, or there's this option of being a solo explorer. So I mean, what you can do is say there'll be new systems will come into the game as they unlock more and more content, bring out more and more star systems. But to get to these new areas, you're going to have to go through like wormholes to jump there in time, which is also one of the main ways you'll get around from star system to star system. And if you are going through these wormholes, you're going to have to be a skilled navigator to sort of do all the kind of maneuvering you've got to go through, because these like ever shifting kind of tunnel type things that you've got to zoom through without clipping the sides, else you'll get instantly sort of evaporated.
Real skill checks, really.
Yeah, but then if you're the first one into a new system, boom, it's got your name on it, you know.
Nice.
And you're like, woohoo, I'm the
Dibs.
explorer.
Mine.
And yeah, and you can
claimed.
get your scanners out, create a map of the new system, and then you'll be like, right, this is my map. Who wants the rights to
Can you
it?
claim the planet yours? Can you claim Planet Geoff?
Well, good luck if there's organisations that want it and you're solo. Good luck defending a whole planet. But I mean, sure, if you're in an organisation, my plan as part of Tactical Advance is to claim areas of unclaimed space as our own and defend it as an organisation. That's
wow,
for sure.
so you're going to be looking at Rapid Expanse.
We are going to be looking to expand.
So you're going to be there as a
to
team
claim
day
our bit.
one, launch day?
Of course,
straight out.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to be a hardcore crew.
Oh, what happened there?
Oh, I lost a life. I crashed into somebody, I think.
Damn, friendly collision.
No, I think I just smashed.
Well, it's going to bring me to one of the last talking points I have for the game, and that is story. Because one of the most important things for me when I play any video game is the story, other than the create your own sort of story.
Yeah.
Create your own sort of story universe games are fine, but for me they're good to a point. I do honestly prefer, after playing both sides, prefer a good, well-to catered story, which is why I would play The Witcher over, I don't know, say the Viking game that came out. What are they called? The Bethesda games.
Yeah, there's
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
I'd
Elder
rather play The
Scrolls,
Witcher
Skyrim.
over Skyrim any
Yeah.
day, just because that self-catered story. What's the story for this game going to be? And I did have a gander at what I could, and there's not much right now. You join Squadron 42.
That's right, yeah.
And you travel around to different locations, into different war zones. You rank up. Now, this to me just sounds like every other type of its genre, no matter what. It's the fetch quests. It's the go over here and blow up something over here quests, and then you earn ranks. You level up, get experience, and then you get to go on the harder missions.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I could get was that you earn UEE citizenship. I'm not quite sure what that is yet, but
yeah, well, I mean, you need to be a UEE citizen to get certain privileges and certain rights, like for voting and things like that. You know, think Starship Troopers.
You want to know more?
So yeah, do you want to know more? Because the UEE is the kind of united sort of federation of humans, and it is run.
Right, that's it. I've decided my plan then is to resume my mercenary scoundrel from Privateer, from Wing Commander Privateer. I'm gonna resume him. I'm gonna wake him out of cryo sleep, and he's gonna go and overthrow the UEE. I'm gonna go and recruit as many people as possible, and I'm gonna bring down the game's internal structure and create a new one in its ashes.
Go for it. You try. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, there are
power to the people.
There's organizations that are going to be anti-UEE, and you're welcome to join them. Pirate organizations all operate outside UEE law as well. So
awesome.
Those are the kind of people you're going to be turning to in areas of space which are out of UEE control, or you may even make alliances with aliens.
I'm going to be the brown coats. I'm going to go and create a smuggling ship and just travel around the outer rim.
Yeah. So like the if you're like single player, in terms of the single player, Squadron 42 I think is really, it's just like a kind of, you're going to join the military, you're going to have a career through the military, and then the idea is Squadron 42 will set you up into the persistent universe. You'll have a ship, you'll have some money in your pocket, you'll have a UEE citizenship, so you'll be able to freely, operate and pay taxes and gain all the benefits of being a UEE citizen, and away you go. So, but
awesome.
I mean, like, as always, this is a play the way you want to play. So if you want to be like, nah, I don't want to have a military career, I don't want to do anything other than just jump in and start pirating people and trolling people, then get in there, do that. That's what you want. That's what you want to do. That's what you're gonna do, mate. So
endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities.
I don't know. I'd be quite happy to also just be your security chief on board your ship, and you can just wake me up every so often, and I can just go push some buttons and then go back to sleep.
Yeah, well, if we if you do get the game, Gary, and you have joined Tactical Advance,
Me and Ian will just take seats on your sofa on your ship, and yeah. We'll be sorted.
There's going to be need for crew members on the big capital ships for sure. You know, there's these huge, like, big old ships with like loads of little ships on them. So and with big guns, and they're going to need engineers and people to operate the shields and constantly shift the shields around. And, oh mate, yeah, there's going to be loads. If you and there's a first-person shooter kind of whole dynamic to this as well. The first-person shooter module should be out real soon.
Excellent.
And so the first-person shooter. If you don't even want to fly any spaceships, you don't have to. You can just be a marine and be like part of.
Be a grunt.
Yeah, be part of landing parties.
I'm quite happy to do that as well. I'll be on the away teams.
Yeah, boom.
Mostly.
You could become like an AA man and just go around space picking up people that are kind of stranded, broken down, run out of fuel, and charge them money to pick them up.
FTL all over again.
Yeah.
Well, that's bringing us just over time, Geoff, so we're going to close out now, but we're just going to say that I don't think this is going to be our last Star Citizen video.
No, we'll definitely come back to this.
Definitely going to come back to this when the first-person mode comes out, and we'll definitely have more videos when the actual game comes out.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to show off the FPS, and then the next, once the FPS is out, which could be any moment now, we'll have the Squadron 42 to look forward to after that, but I'm not expecting that till somewhere near at the end of 2015/early 2016, and then the PU, Persistent Universe. Fingers crossed. Shortly after that, I'm expecting maybe anything from 3 to 6 months after the Squadron 42 comes out, but we'll see. I mean, this is the thing, like any date you think, you're only setting yourself up to be disappointed. So
yeah,
there's a lot with this, and like I said, although like he can do whatever he wants, it also means you've got a thing called feature creep, which means the law of diminishing returns means you're going to have vastly more development time for all these features that he's got to add. So yeah, we'll just see what happens.
Definitely. Well, in the meantime, guys, we've got our film reviews going up on Thursdays, and Ian and myself got video game playthroughs going up on Saturdays, and we'll be back next Friday. Thanks for watching and listening, everyone. I'll see you next time.
Take it easy, guys. Pew pew.